What if I told you that everything you dislike in your current reality is the result of your subconscious trying to get a desire fulfilled or a need met? And that by uncovering that desire and replacing any shame you feel with acceptance would allow you to release the pattern. Hi, my name is Veronica, and my goal is to help you rewrite your story so that you can go from feeling like the victim of your reality to the creator of it, using subconscious reprogramming, energetics, nervous system regulation, and more. It can be challenging to accept that you're somehow getting a desire met by staying in the cycle of working in low-income jobs or repeatedly finding yourself in relationships with people who aren't emotionally available. But our subconscious is always trying to get a need met. As frustrating as that may be to our conscious minds, our ego, may hate what is happening in our reality. We may hate that we keep repeating this pattern, finding ourselves in a similar situation. But our subconscious mind is trying to either keep us safe or trying to get some kind of need or desire fulfilled. And when we uncover what that desire is and allow ourselves to accept this need, accept this desire, we can finally release the pattern. A quick overview of our subconscious. Our subconscious is responsible for 95% of our brain activity. And our subconscious is trying to keep us safe. It works with our nervous system to prioritize our safety. So even if we hate what we are experiencing, even if it doesn't feel safe, it doesn't feel desirable to our conscious minds, it may still feel safe to our subconscious. Often, what is safe is what's familiar to us. And our subconscious beliefs are primarily formed in our younger years, between the ages of 0 and 8. But our subconscious beliefs can also be formed when we experience a similar situation repeatedly, or we experience a traumatic event. And for the most part, these subconscious beliefs are running the show, and we aren't aware of them unless we do the work to uncover those subconscious beliefs and rewrite them. So if you've been experiencing a pattern in your life that you hate, that you dislike, that you want to change, but no matter how hard you've tried to make a change, you keep finding yourself in that same situation, in that same pattern, it is time to take a look at your subconscious beliefs. It is time to get curious about what your subconscious may desire and what may feel safe to your subconscious. I like to integrate internal family systems into my subconscious work. I think it's a really powerful tool. So I'm gonna walk you through an example of how your subconscious may be trying to get a need met while also weaving in internal family systems. Okay, so let's say you're 7 and you've just created a masterpiece of art, something you're super proud of, super excited about, and you go to your dad, you go to his office in your house, trying to show him, super excited, and he barely gives you the time of day, shoos you away, tells you to get out, says he's busy, says he doesn't have time. And the result is that you feel rejected, you feel really hurt. And those feelings are really intense for you because you're 7 and you probably don't have the tools yet to handle those intense emotions. And this part of you that was super playful, creative, fun, now feels this intense rejection and sadness. These feelings are too intense that, a part of you, to keep you safe, almost pushes those feelings away, rejects them. This part gets exiled. These feelings get exiled. In internal family systems, this part is called your exile. So it's this part that is designed to be playful and happy and carefree and childlike. But it gets exiled because of the intense emotions. And this exile is in order to keep you safe, right? Your subconscious doesn't want you to experience those intense emotions again. Flash forward, it's been 20 years since that day, and there's a good chance you don't even remember that day in that situation. You so badly want art to be your full-time job. You want to create art for a living and support yourself through that. But you find that no matter how hard you try, you either don't finish your art pieces, or you find that once you are done them, you have a really hard time showing up or showing your art to other people, posting it online, sharing it with others, listing it for sale. This part that is preventing you from either finishing your work or sharing it with the world is a manager part. And the job of the manager is to keep you safe. So this manager is working hard to prevent you from feeling those feelings of rejection again, from feeling that sadness, that rejection, that feeling of like my art's not good enough or no one wants to see my art, whatever that story is that's linked to those feelings that were exiled. Okay, so one Saturday you finish a piece of art and you are so proud of it, it's good, and you're like, I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to post this online for the world to see. You do it, and the next thing you know, it's 5 hours later and you've been on the couch numbing out, watching episode after episode of some show you don't even like that much. You've maybe had a couple glasses of wine, or you've eaten a lot of cookies. You've somehow, disassociated. You've been using your coping mechanisms. This is your firefighter parts. The firefighter part within you is also trying to keep you safe. And the firefighter comes out when those emotions come up. So as you were disassociating, as you were numbing out, after you posted your art, you may have had those feelings come up. You may not even have recognized or realized what you were feeling, but those feelings of rejection, that fear of rejection, that story of what if I'm not good enough? What if no one likes it? What if no one interacts? No one wants to buy it? Those feelings, those emotions come up. And your firefighter parts comes in to help protect you so that you don't fully feel those emotions. So you may be consciously looking at this pattern thinking, I hate that I can't pursue my art. You may be saying, I'm lazy, I never finish these pieces, or, I'm just not good at social media, but I can't afford to hire someone, so my business isn't going to be successful until I'm able to get better at social media. I just can't be consistent. You might beat yourself up for not being consistent. The story goes on. When in reality, what is happening is that your subconscious is trying to keep you safe. So in this example, your subconscious is trying to get the need met of staying safe, avoiding rejection at all cost. The hidden desire is to never feel those feelings of rejection again. And now when you bring this subconscious desire to the surface, when you bring it to your conscious awareness, the best thing you can do is accept it, to bring understanding to your subconscious, to recognize why your subconscious, created this story to keep you safe, why your managers and your firefighters are playing the role to protect you from feeling those feelings associated with that exiled part. Because when we shame ourselves for our desires, when we shame ourselves for our actions, our behaviors, it just keeps us in that cycle. That shame is only going to keep the manager parts of you, the firefighters, the exiles, it's just going to keep them in their role. to protect you. It's going to strengthen them. Instead, what we want to do is bring acceptance to those parts of ourselves so that we can integrate them and ultimately release them. Internal family systems is about allowing these parts to go back to the original roles that they want. To allow that exiled part to go back to that childlike, playful energy instead of, being exiled for these intense feelings and emotions. It's about allowing your manager part to release, the role that they've held on to protect you, to keep you safe. So when we shame these parts of ourselves, we stay in that cycle. Often when we're doing our coping mechanisms, like when the firefighter part comes in, when we engage in those habits and we shame ourselves, it just makes those habits stronger or harder to break. I've never broken a habit like that by shaming myself. I've only broken a habit by accepting this is what I'm doing. I know there's a need. There's a reason why I'm doing this. A part of me doesn't feel safe. So I first allow myself to just engage in that habit, to accept it. And then as I work on the acceptance piece, it gets easier and easier to naturally not engage in that habit anymore because I'm replacing that feeling inside with safety. I'm getting curious about my subconscious. So let me provide one more example in case the first one didn't resonate with you. Let's say you are finding yourself not making a lot of money, no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you try. Maybe you are someone who has a lot of education, who has a lot of knowledge. You know that you know your shit. You know that you're good, but you find yourself in these jobs that don't reflect your knowledge, your experience, or no matter how hard you work, again, like you just can't seem to make enough money or the amount of money that you want to make. And the result of that is that other people have to support you. You cannot financially support yourself on your own, or maybe you can for the bare minimum, but for the things above and beyond that would bring you joy, you can't afford those. Someone else is providing for you, whether that is, paying your rent, whether that is giving you money regularly to help you enjoy life, to help you pay for extra things. And consciously, you hate this. You're like, I want to be financially independent. I want to take care of myself. I don't want anyone else to be providing for me. But yet you can't seem to break the habit. In this case, your subconscious may be trying to fulfill the desire of being taken care of. And again, a lot of this comes back to childhood. So maybe in your childhood, you were not taken care of in the ways that you really wanted to be taken care of, that you needed. Maybe you did not get the emotional support, the emotional, the love that you needed, or maybe there was really no one financially providing for you, or it was just the bare minimum. And now, flash forward to adulthood, you hate the situation. You maybe, despite your childhood, maybe money was an issue in your childhood. You're like, I don't understand. I want to be making money. I don't want to depend on anyone else. But yet you just can't, break this cycle. So in this example, your subconscious mind may be trying to get the desire fulfilled to be taken care of. And again, the best thing you can do is accept that this is what's happening. This is the desire. As much as you hate it, allow yourself to begin to bring acceptance to it, to get curious, to have a deeper understanding of why. Our subconscious beliefs, I think, don't always make sense to our conscious mind. I'll give you a personal example. I grew up with a lot of fights about money in my home. My dad was always angry at my mom when it came to money. So you would think, one would hope that my subconscious would have decided that I need to make a lot of money in order to not experience fights in order to never be in a position where I am dependent on a partner, financially dependent on a partner. Instead, what happened was my subconscious decided money is not safe. Money is not safe. So therefore, we're not going to have money. And, there's layers to it. There was, I think, a lot of beliefs that were became my conditioning. The people around me had beliefs around, people with money being bad or selfish or greedy or any of those things. So that money not being safe also was paired with, if I have money, people are going to judge me. So consciously, I wish that the subconscious story that my mind decided was that, like, I'm just going to make a lot of money in order to be safe. But we don't get to choose our subconscious programming. So instead, I got the story that money's not safe. So no matter what your subconscious story is, you don't want to shame yourself. I could choose to shame myself for what my subconscious decided to believe and the results. And yes, it is very hard to accept your external reality when you hate that pattern, when you dislike the pattern that's repeating, the situation that you're in. But in order to really work with that subconscious belief and change it, we want to, one, bring awareness to it. That's the first step. Bring awareness to our subconscious beliefs. And then two, the second step is accept those subconscious beliefs. Accept our current reality, our current circumstances. And from there, we can rewrite that subconscious story. It may feel counterintuitive to, going back to the first example, fully accept that you don't finish your art projects or that you never post them for anyone to see. It may feel counterintuitive to enjoy that. So a piece of this is, once you accept these subconscious beliefs, this desire that your subconscious is trying to get fulfilled, can you allow yourself to enjoy it? Can you allow yourself to enjoy not being seen or not finishing your art? Can you allow yourself to enjoy being taken care of by someone else? When we're doing this, we are essentially saying thank you to our manager part. Thank you for the work that you've done to keep us safe. Thank you for the work you've done to help us get this desire and this need met. We're acknowledging the hard work that our subconscious has done. And that is going to help release these parts of us, or release these parts from the roles that they have been in. Now that I've given you a couple examples, I want you to bring to mind the pattern that you hate, the pattern that you want to change, and make a list of all of the benefits that you are receiving from being in this pattern, from being in this situation. And your conscious mind may fight against this at first. You may be thinking, there are absolutely no benefits to being in this job I hate, or to not making enough money, or to constantly be in these shitty relationship dynamics. But I'm willing to bet there are some benefits. Like I said earlier, does someone buy you things? Does not having money, is that an excuse for you when you don't want to do things? Instead of telling someone how you feel, you can say, oh, I can't afford it. Do your friends treat you to dinner? Maybe you keep finding yourself in this pattern of meeting someone and then after a few months realizing, they're not who you thought they were, or you don't like them after thinking maybe this is the one. Maybe a benefit there is your subconscious likes independence. The benefit could be, I get to continue living by myself and I really love living alone. Or, the benefit is I don't have to deal with someone else's emotions. Like, if I'm not in a committed relationship, their shit is not my problem. So get curious. And if you're not used to working with your subconscious, these things may not come to the surface right away. You may need to do this exercise a couple of times, but over the course of the next few days, it'll start to come to your conscious awareness. And when it does, can you allow yourself to accept it, to continue with that theme of curiosity instead of fighting against it and shaming yourself? Can you allow yourself to sit with the feelings of enjoyment? Like, think about, visualize yourself really enjoying these benefits. And that is going to help you integrate these parts. One of my beliefs when it comes to making a quantum leap or reality creation is that it's not as much a releasing of this version of ourselves, but instead an integration. And integration allows us to move past the behaviors that have kept us safe, that have kept us in these patterns. We are accepting who we are, accepting where we are, what has happened in our past. We're accepting our subconscious and we're integrating it. When we integrate, then yes, sometimes that part of us, the manager, going back to internal family systems, the manager piece is maybe able to finally let go of that role it's been in. And it is a release. It is a complete release of that pattern, that version of us, but that really starts with the integration. I think my next video will be on the topic of acceptance because it's such an important piece of reality creation, but one that personally I do find really challenging. Full, complete, total acceptance of where you are, what is happening in your reality right now. It's easier said than done, right? Oh, to recap, your subconscious is always trying to get a need met or a desire fulfilled. And once you uncover that desire and allow yourself to accept it and enjoy it, you can release it. You can begin to change that subconscious belief, that subconscious story, rewrite it into a belief that serves you and helps you move into the next version of yourself that is living in your desired reality. If you're ready to go from feeling like the victim of your reality to the creator of it, you can grab my free guide in the description below. It is all about getting really clear on your current identity, because our identity is directly linked to our reality. In this guide, I explain how our identity is formed, the role our nervous system plays. I go into the subconscious, how to uncover subconscious beliefs, the importance of self-love. This guide is the first step of making a quantum leap. It'll walk you through getting really clear on your desired reality and the version of you that is living in that reality, so you know exactly who you need to embody, what version of you need to embody to change your reality. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, share it with someone who you think it will help, and subscribe to my channel for more videos on reality creation, nervous system regulation, energetics, the subconscious, and more.